And the room is no longer ablaze. It is now a charred.
Mending!
Yeah, there's a moment where Captain Jack's just like, and then you guys both start going through like, we got this, and start mending. You're like, and just sits down on the floor. Someone brings him a cup.
Why
does this taste like bear?
This is water!
Mizr stayed there like, oops.
Then everyone feels the whole ship rock uncomfortably to one side. And you're like, runs back up to the deck. Oh yeah, we're in the middle of a frickin' squall. If it ain't one thing.
Couldn't just open up a window, let the squall take care of it?
So,
where's Neriah?
Dead elf.
Dead elf.
No, actually saying that too. Where's Neriah?
Go find Neriah.
You look around for Neriah. She doesn't seem to be in any of the main areas. The door to her room is shut. I'm assuming it's shut.
I thought it'd be like changing my outfit, like princess, or all these different things, you know, just like.
You're looking for the elf's advice.
No, just trying to cheer her up, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're using it as like hey, look what I can do.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's not freaking her out at all.
Look, I can make it turn into a dress. Or spiky metal armor of death.
Right? Exactly.
What do you like? Look, I can even make it look like I scun you and I'm wearing your skin. Why isn't this cheering you up?
Make a persuasion check for me.
Oh, that's fun.
So at first, the elf seems freaked out when you start just like transforming your outfit from one thing to another, and then again you kind of go from like dress and this playful outfit to that playful outfit to this this thing and that thing, and eventually she kind of like gets used to it and kind of like starts warming up to like.
Yeah.
And then I assume there's a knock at your door.
Turn around. It'll be okay.
Elf check, open up!
Burning hands.
Oh no! It'll be okay. So I turn around and I open the door.
And you see, I would assume you see a druid, a cleric, and a bear, all looking in your room like,
everything all right?
There's an elf child. You can talk to elves, right? Yes.
That must be who started the fire, you hear Mizr say.
Totally.
It's obvious. I mean,
yes.
we didn't start the fire.
Glaring at the elf.
It was always
I feel like Burning Hands is a new spell and you guys probably never seen me use it anyway, so you have no idea. Yes, elves? No? Anyone else? Talk?
I can
say hello.
Well,
certain elves, yeah.
You have Sylvan but not Elven?
Correct.
You have Sylvan but not Elven?
Well, I mean, technically, I would know Elven with my backstory, but not with my...
Well, I'm planning on changing up my spells and to facilitate communication with the other prisoners, so we can just put her in the brig and I'll talk to her in the morning as well.
I mean, knowing Elvish would something the DM would have to clear with me or not.
She can stay in my room and I'll keep an eye on her.
Yeah, I'm okay with you knowing Elven.
I think the captain has the last word on stowaways.
That's fine. That's fine. I
know Elvish. I suddenly remembered.
Oh yeah, I just didn't know how to speak Elven.
Yes, of course, certainly. Speak your
It's just an offshoot of Sylvan, really.
Yes, especially since members of my party spoke it, and the druid who trained me, of course,
That explains a lot.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You like elves too. Is enough.
Ah, yes. Sit down. Hello, dear. And would you like to explain to me how you managed to punch through the bottom of our ship like that?
I did what?
How did you enter this ship?
Magic.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to have a little more details than that.
Well, I snuck on. Actually, I didn't really sneak on. I kind of just ended up here. The waves brought me, and I didn't think it was safe to stay up on the top, so I came down below.
I mean, I assume you all see me visibly do that.
What is it?
So you're saying you did not come up through the bottom of the ship when we had that...
How do you come up through the ship?
Did you... Were you on the ship when you heard a loud cracking sound?
Yes, there was a loud cracking sound.
Mm-hmm. Any idea what made that?
I don't know. I thought it was the Sahagin.
You knew about the Sahagin on the ship.
I know about the Sahagin people. I know that I was in a raiding party that were, or I was in a party that was tracking some Sahagin. There's a group of them. I'm a water elf, so I was down in the water, and we were chasing some Sahagin. Your ship just happens to be here. There's a squall. I got caught in, we were fighting, and I got caught in some current, and the wave splashed me up on deck. So I freaked out and hid myself the best I could, and came down here because I heard the loud crack and panicked and came down here.
You heard the loud crack when you were washed aboard?
After I was washed aboard, yes.
Okay. Well, the hole was only about this big.
Yeah.
So, do you think a Sahagin could fit through that?
I don't think a Sahagin could fit through it, but it looks about the size of the nose of a shark.
And why would a shark be trying to punch through the bottom of our ship?
Those sharks listen to the Sahagin because they're jerks.
Alright, okay. And I'll turn to you. Apparently, she washed aboard
I'm
on
not there.
the top.
Yeah, he left the room while you were talking with her.
Right. Oh, Claire's gone. Alright, so she apparently has washed aboard on top, so she's not what we were looking for that came through, but she suggested it was a shark nose which punched through the bottom of a ship. Now, I don't know very little about actually spending time with sharks too much, but I do believe that that would greatly hurt the shark. I'll kind of say that. Would it not have greatly hurt the shark?
I don't know if it was a shark or not, but that's about the size of a shark's nose. And I know that there's a bunch of sharks with the Sahagin, and the Sahagins are a bunch of jerks, so I just assume if there's a jerky act, it was probably the Sahagin.
And where's the rest of your party?
Down below. I would have just jumped right back into the water, but there's the Sahagin were kind of hanging around this ship, so I didn't want to just jump right into the midst of my enemy. I needed to be sure that I'd be either alone when I rejoined the water or with friends. The last thing I need to do is be surrounded by those guys.
Well, we find ourselves in a bit of a predicament right now. We have two stowaways who are apparently at odds with each other. We are currently sailing away from both of their parties, and we cannot really trust anything that comes out of either of their mouths.
I agree. That is a predicament.
So, really, the best she has is a shark nose punched through the bottom of a boat.
It's a narwhal.
Looking at dinosaur narwhal.
Yeah.
Mizr kind of looks. Dino shark?
It's not a theory.
Do we
I
actually
mean,
know
things
about
things are gonna be bigger as we get close.
do we actually know about the dinosaurs?
Yeah, that's why you guys decided to
And
go.
Mizr's actually really
that's
excited
why
about the
Mizr was-
concept.
Yeah, Kaylana mentioned dinosaurs and
He's
Mizr
excited
was
by
like,
the concept.
dinosaurs, that's where we're going.
Alright, are these normal looking sharks or are they heavily scaled? Perhaps a thick of natural armor?
They have a few different types of sharks, but they're all regular looking sharks as far as I know.
Would I know that if a shark would actually be able to puncture the bottom of a boat like
Your
that?
best guess would be no. As in, no, they can't. Not no, you don't know.
Yes, that's good. I'm already on that train of thought. Okay. So aside from the fact that you can't tell me if they had anything besides sharks with them, or there was anything else with you that could have possibly punched through the bottom of a boat.
That's the only thing that I could guess.
Okay.
You also get the impression that this is a young elf. You know, like, I wouldn't say, like, adolescent, but, like, well, yeah, I mean, probably adolescent age. I mean, for an elf.
Teenager.
60s, 70s. Yeah, teenage-ish, you know, maturity level female elf. You're not, you know, I don't know, I mean, as far as I recall, your backstory with aquatic elves is probably null and or limited. But, you know,
Limited,
yeah. But
I'm,
yeah,
I'm
but
sure I
they-
know of them.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, aquatic elf, which was quite apparent to begin with. I mean, they have a slightly just, you know, slight discoloration, you know, blah blah blah, you know, like greenish hair. So she stands out.
My dear, I am sorry about this, but everything will work out for the best, I promise.
And then,
Mizr!
Tristan arrives with Captain Jack.
I was
All
gonna
right, so what's going on, guys?
I was going to say, Mizr, please restrain our guest here.
So we got another stowaway, huh?
Yes, and apparently it still is not solved our issue about what caused that hole.
Good, great. I'm having a fabulous night.
I know.
I'm really excited to be here.
Isn't it
Well,
wonderful?
then you're gonna love the news that there's sahags all around your ship right now.
And there's also that. And apparently she's part of a group that has been tracking and hunting them. Or the other way around, I'm not sure.
I guess technically I wouldn't.
Well, no. So, yeah, you wouldn't know that. I wouldn't have said that.
Because that's different language, so never mind. I didn't
So-
say that.
Yes, she is part of a party that's been hunting a raiding party of Sahagun, and they apparently have decided to be in the area. There's also sharks down there, too. And something that can punch through the bottom of the boat. So,
Yeah, you said sharks already.
I'll be in my room. He just walks off. He's like, I need a drink!
well, Captain,
A moment later, he comes running like, what am I doing? Oh my god! Whew!
Can't have a girl in charge of the ship.
give it to the bear.
Okay, I just had a moment.
Here is us, Mizr. Would you please restrain our young friend here? Gently, if
Yeah,
all
yeah, that
possible.
sounds good. Yeah. I have an idea. I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm gonna go make sure this ship doesn't get flipped or sink, and we survive this squall that we're still dealing with. Because I can't control weather. I don't know if any of you guys can control the weather.
Oh.
Not till I get 5th level. So
I don't know what that means. So,
actually, I think it's 8th level.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna go make sure the ship don't sink and we don't all die from the storm. You can all figure out this situation with the stowaways and hopefully the hole, so that doesn't happen again. And hopefully this night ends with us not drowning and preferably me not being eaten by a shark. Does that sound like a plan? I'm gonna give... There's the keys to the brig. If you need me, I'll be I'll be on the deck. And he turns around. He has You know, like the kind of, I need a drink.
Dangerously close to being sober.
Yes. I can't
Blood
captain
alcohol
when I'm
content
sober.
is
I almost
dangerously
gave
low.
up my ship because I'm getting a little too sober for this situation.
So is there only one cell, or
Yeah,
there?
that's.
Yeah, there's one cell.
Well, you could put them both in there, and they'll potentially kill each other. So I
I'm
don't.
not.
Now on
I'm
that
not-
ring of keys, there's more than one key, so presumably
Oh,
you
there's
have a
more
key
than-
to all the cabins as well.
Ah.
He just gave you his master set of keys.
I will. I'll motion Mizr to bring her to the gate.
I'll nudge. If at any point she looks like she's trying to run away or anything, it'll be more than a nudge and grab. But
Yeah, she doesn't like to look at you at all. She's very reluctant to be anywhere near you, so if you nudge her, she's gonna keep a good 3 feet in front of you.
that works.
All right. I'll kind of bring her up to the gate. We're not going to put you in here as long as you are cooperative. And I assume the Sahagwans are right there.
Yeah, just,
Can you speak to them?
I speak the nasty language of Sahagin, yes.
Lovely.
I have nothing to say to this monstrosity, though.
I have plenty I would like to know from it. So if you could be at here and translate for us, that would certainly be wonderful. I'll motion over to the Sahagwin. I'll put it out and I'll be like, point to the bear. Be like,
He wants to know what you want.
I would like to know if his people have any means of putting holes in our ships.
She turns and talks to him. They have a big little conversation back and forth. He says that, of course, they have the power to punch a hole in a scrawny ship. What do you think they are, elves? Hey.
I would like to know if he is aware that his people are possibly putting a specific hole in the ship. Because, and please put it this way, if something else is on this ship that we can't find that is a bigger danger, that potentially could be a bigger danger, again, powerful enough to punch a hole in the ship while being this big, he is also trapped on this ship in a closed room with it.
I'm not locked in here with it. It's locked in here with me.
She turns.
They're having their conversation. This is ridiculous. I'm leaving. I'm not gonna sit around and listen to a three-way conversation where I can't understand a damn word that's being said. I actually want to go back to the cabin where the fire was and see if I can figure out what started it.
You put on your Sherlock hat.
Yes, I've been meaning to use this magnifying glass.
Neriah blushes.
I'm gonna go figure out what started the fire, guys. You figure out this problem.
Yeah. You do
Good
that.
luck.
Let us know how it turned out, please.
You can make an investigation check, sir.
Even though we mended everything, so it's like.
I didn't say it wasn't with great difficulty.
Well, I can also look around and like, well, there's no broken lanterns, and we didn't fix any. They don't have any torch, no flamethrowers.
Molotov cocktails.
18.
18.
Yeah, Neriah did it now.
I find no mundane explanation for the fire.
Yeah, you spend some time, and yeah, you can't seem to find any natural source of fire. Does not seem to be an ignition point. Back to the interrogation, as it were, the three-way conversation. The Sahagin, to kind of fast forward through the back and forth, the Sahagin postures a bit, of course we're powerful enough to do this. Obviously we're Sahagin, we're great, we're awesome, elves are stupid, blah, 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 blah. eventually, like you make your like, look, you're on the ship with whatever or possibly with whatever did this. Yeah, well, obviously it must have been, one of my people, and they're not going to hurt me, blah, 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 blah. And then finally it ends with the conclusion of him slipping. The elf gives you the impression that something slipped and he didn't mean to say it, but through the back and forth, like, apparently they were tracking what they're calling, the elves that were tracking the Sahagin, apparently the Sahagin were tracking yet something else. The something else is described as the Great Beast, but they don't seem to have any, whatever they're calling it doesn't she doesn't understand, like, the meaning or the translation or the terminology, so she doesn't know how to, correctly, like, retranslate it back to you in Elven. The closest thing she can come is something, I don't know, like the Great Beasts. They were tracking, I don't know.
Ask him one more thing. Would that beast be able to fit through a hole this big?
Is it?
Well, I don't know if I'd call anything a great beast if it's this big.
Well,
And then as she's making that, you guys are both making this gesture, talking in Elven back and forth, the Sahagan's like, what? What? Oh, it has tentacles that wide. Oh, okay. What? Wait, what? And then some, conversation back and forth, and I don't really know the word, the Sahagin word, but I think they're talking about either what in Elven, basically again translating all the way back into Common, is either, not sure if the Sahagin is referring to a giant octopus or a kraken. She's hoping he means giant octopus. She's afraid he means kraken. And then she just kind of goes blank for a second.
And what would you do with this information?
What would I do with this information? Well, I'd wish I was in the water so no one would notice that I want to pee myself. And then I would leave. Quickly. And preferably with my friends, but without them if necessary.
Very well. Fair friend. Take her on deck and throw her overboard.
You said something to him that I don't understand.
We will send you back into the water.
Okay. Wait. Well, I mean, I don't know if the Sahagin could be out there still. The Kraken could...
Do you want to stay on board with us?
I don't...
Hold on.
No. I don't like being in the middle of a giant target. So I will go. I think it is safer that way.
Perhaps you can, invisible yourself again before we throw you.
Yes. That doesn't work as well when you're in water.
Well, should you prefer your chances in the water then?
Yes. Well, yes. Yes.
We've made a decision. Does she nod to Mizr at that point?
Hmm?
The bear tries to reassure her by smiling.
Nudge. Once we get to the, near the edge of the ship, because I don't want to get too close with it whirling and waving. I'm like, enough to kind of give it a nod to jump over. So Mizr was just about to push the person over the side, or kind of motion to her to either jump in or need some help.
So, yeah, she looks at you, looks out into the stormy squall, looks at you,
And stay on board.
kind of looks down, and she, just as she looks like she's about to jump, you hear Captain Jack like, what are you doing to the you know what, I don't even care. And she jumps, just like, she waits for a wave, and she kind of jumps into the wave. And disappears into the stormy tides.
What are you doing here? We gave her a choice.
Like, you know what? Whatever. It's fine.
Alright, so I'll
Back to the center spot of my ship with my armor, and that's where I'll wait.
Where are you at? Are you up at the cabin?
I'm investigating.
Oh, you're investigating. That's right. So I guess I'll go up and Captain, I do believe I have a slight bit of not good news.
I thought I was just gonna deal with the weather.
Okay. How quickly do you think you can go that way?
I'm doing the best I can already.
Yes. Well, I highly suggest that we pick up the pace.
Yeah, easier said than done, but I'll get right on that.
No, just do it, please. Unless you really want to know what's going on.
I probably don't.
Okay, yeah.
I will do my best. I mean, we're fighting the waves here.
Yeah,
so.
the waves are going to be the least of your concern.
Well, I mean, if we're all in the water, that will probably be not good. So.
Yes, well, the fact that we're in the water right now is not good.
Okay. I probably really don't want to know what's going on, but I'm so tempted to ask. But don't tell me. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. All right, boys, you heard them. Tighten up the sails. Here we go. We're gonna try to punch through this bitch.
Well, gust of wind in the sails help.
It couldn't hurt. I mean, unless it's for them, but yeah, no, it probably couldn't hurt. Yeah.
Because I haven't actually said out loud what it is.
No, not to anyone. So yeah, they all get to scrambling, and they're doing their best to try to punch through the storm. Anyone have anything they want to do other than cross their fingers and pray?
Awkwardly go help run somebody investigate, I assume. What are you doing in here? What's going on?
That would be great. Neriah's like, I'm gonna go help Tristan. I'm gonna try to thwart his.
I'm gonna go help Tristan. Hey Tristan, what are you doing? Trying to figure out how the fire got started. Well, that's stupid. We're never gonna figure that out.
Well, you already mended everything. I mean, come on. Is that really the biggest concern right now?
Because we actually don't even know that she and the elf were in there.
No. I have no idea. Yeah. That's between her and the elf's gone, so it's her secret to keep.
Take it to a watery grave.
That might happen. Who would like to roll percentiles for me?
38.
There's been a lot of 30s today. Yeah, it's been a lot of 30s.
I figured since these things have been disappointingly low roll, I could do pretty well with a. Got a good chance. Got a good percent that it's going to be a low percent. But then again, he could just be like, oh yeah, it's low percent of survival. Crap.
Yes. So.
Thanks, DM.
The squall seems to be passing by. You seem to be coming out of the storm. You hear Jack. Woo! I think we're gonna make it, boys.
Why did you bloody say that?
And
I was like, can I make a reaction? Just put my hand over his mouth as he says that out loud.
Well, it looks like everything's gonna be.
Mr. Jorell, no.
someone, they're diving. Okay, boys. No. Yes. So, as expected, pretty much as soon as that clears his mouth and the squall starts to, you see the clouds start to part. It's morning at this point. Like the squall's been going all night. The clouds start to part. You start to see a little ray of sunshine poke through the clouds. He makes his jinx comment, and then Tentacle pops up out of the water and starts to wrap around the side of the ship.
Starts to?
Begins to. Yes. It closes in towards the ship.
Burning hands, I'm just kidding. Doing that ever.
Hey everybody, this worked last time.
Arson!
I cast arson.
I cast burn the ship.